Hi everyone, this is Perfume Coast, so welcome to my channel. Today I decided to dedicate my podcast to a new but not so new release of 2025, which is called Radiante by Narciso Rodriguez, which I personally also consider such an underrated gem. But without further ado, let's jump into the ocean of perfumes. And also, as always, let's dive into the notes that Fragrantica is listing. So on the top we've got carnation, lily of the valley and aldehydes. In the middle there's cotton flower, orange blossom and clove. And finally in the base there's musk, vetiver, woody notes, Virginian cedar and amber. So this release came out in transitional season from winter to spring, which is why I decided to review it now that many of us are yet again in the transition, this time around from fall to winter. So this one, in my view, again, is such an underrated gem. As you can see, the square bottle is very much like La Poudre line of the same brand, but this one is very special as well. The note that specifically attracted me as a clean fragrances fan was cotton flower. I consider, by the way, this note quite rare. And indeed, I got that note perfectly, but so much more also. So the opening is indeed this cotton-like undertone, as if I'm smelling brand new crispy cotton shirt of color white. But this snow white shirt is also starchy, and this quality is delivered here by lots of powdery accords, which apparently are supplied by something very different from the usual suspects of iris and orris. Probably it would be a combo of musk, carnation and woods, but in any case, if I could come up with 3 adjectives characterizing this perfume, it would perhaps be clean, white and powdery. It almost feels like I've taken a box of clean white fluffy powder and accidentally dropped it over my clean white shirt. This powder doesn't really smell like anything, but what it does do is giving off extremely strong sense of texture. And the only other characteristics along with this powdery texture would be perhaps fluffiness and cleanliness. Incidentally, this powder perfume is not sweet, nor is it in any way laundry detergent-like. So what it is, though, would be this clean, white, slightly floral, fluffy, non-sweet powder, again, giving imagery of clean white shirt, which has just been starched and ironed perhaps, and those, warm powder whiffs are still lingering in the air after you put this shirt on. So this clean powdery gem wears so elegantly, and although it's not sweet at all, the overall composition somehow gives off a bit of sweet or rather classy soft dimension here. At the same time, being a powdery clean non-laundry-like release, it doesn't give off any of old-fashioned or stinky faucets, even though there are aldehydes. But here these aldehydes are not aldehydic at all, if that makes sense. They're apparently just bridging and elevating nicely other notes and accords in a way that I've described. So if you're someone looking for an office-friendly, soft but at the same time very consistent powdery scent that's clean, classy and elegant without giving off laundry detergent or any other vintagey vibes, this one qualifies to be an excellent blind buy. I'll go as far as that. Although, of course, please test it out first, preferably if you can. It's totally unisex in my view, being this non-sweet bet, and it's also a true all-year-round wear in my view, except for perhaps highest summer temperatures. But that's it, guys. This wraps up the video. If you've liked this video, if you found it of any use, please give it a like. Please consider subscribing and sharing your comments. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.